Let me tell you something that happened recently. A couple texted our team and said, "Hey, we're ready to move forward with, booking their wedding with us." And I'm thinking, wait, did we meet with them? Because I don't remember them scheduling a call. My team's like, no Zoom, no consult, no sales call. They were ready to book. Now, that doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it tells you something. It tells you that the trust work was already done. They didn't need convincing. They didn't need persuasion. They didn't need a 45-minute explanation. They trusted us enough to move forward without speaking to us. And that's what today's episode is about, because most event websites fail the trust test, or they do a poor job. Not because they're ugly, not because the logo's wrong, not because the fonts are off. They fail because they don't build trust fast enough, or they don't build it the right way. When someone first discovers your brand, they're not starting at yes. They're starting between 0 and 20% sold. Not because they think you're bad, but because they don't know you. So in my mind, there's this 0 to 100% trust meter. 0% means I don't trust you whatsoever. I don't know who you are. I'm not hiring you. 100% means I trust you completely. I'm going to hire you. Where do I sign? And every piece of content you create, every touch point in your brand either moves someone up that bar or leaves them where they are. The companies that book more consistently at higher rates have simply done a better job at moving people from 0 toward 100. They've stacked trust and their ability to communicate it. So today I want to break down the mechanisms, the trust signals, the content types, the touch points, because trust isn't one thing. It's a collection of signals, and most brands are missing many of them. Let's start with the first trust check. When someone searches your company name on a search engine or through an AI, LLM, before they even hit your website, they're looking you up. What comes up when you type in your brand name and you write the word reviews? What about the Google reviews? How about on Reddit? What about the Knot or Yelp or Instagram or Facebook? Maybe nothing. Your online reputation is a trust mechanism. You could have the most beautiful site, but if people look up your brand and there's negative things in abundance online, that is the first thing you're going to need to address, is how do we pivot and move on from here? Your online reputation is a trust mechanism. If they Google you and it's empty, the meter barely moves. If they Google you and they see dozens of 5-star reviews, detailed feedback, real names, real photos, the meter jumps up towards the trust direction. You don't control whether people Google or the AI search you. You do control what they find. That's trust mechanism number one. Now let's talk about when they land on your website. They're asking different questions here. Do you feel legit? Do you feel premium? Do you feel like my people? These are the questions your prospects are asking themselves. And here's where most brands miss it. They have a website, but they're kind of missing in the trust category. Okay, they have a bio about the brand. They have services. They have a few photos. They have 2 testimonials. And that's not enough, because couples, they land on your site with their guard up. Like, they want to trust you, but they need help getting there. So what builds trust on your website? First, a brand video. This could be a recap. It could be a why video, the heart of the brand. It could be documentary style, but it should communicate the essence of your brand, your personality, your energy, your taste level, your standards. An entertainment company's brand video will look different than a planner's. A venue's will look different than a florist's, but the purpose is the same. Help a stranger feel like they know you. That is a trust accelerator. Second, a testimonials page. Not 2 reviews buried at the bottom of a homepage, a real page dedicated to overwhelming proof. Video testimonials, written reviews, screenshots of Instagram DMs, screenshots of emails, text messages from couples, real names, real photos, real venues. Believability is the goal. Doesn't need to be branded to be all super pretty and this and this. I'm talking a screenshot from a phone and posting that as proof. Believable. I tell people all the time, you're probably showing your testimonials in the least believable way possible. Text on a website is fine, but that Instagram DM as a screenshot from that bride or that groom who was just like, yesterday was magical. Thank you. Your group, your company made our special day the most memorable thing we could have ever asked for. It just hits differently. And so when you stack 20, 30, 50 of those on, say, a testimonials page, the trust meter moves fast. Third, category-specific proof. Every category has a different version of what wow looks like. If you're a planner, a venue, a designer, a caterer, a photographer, visuals matters deeply. Your gallery is not decoration, it's credibility. And it communicates taste level, it communicates consistency, it communicates that you've executed at the level that they want. And here's a key. The first 10 seconds of what someone sees matters so much. Whether it's a video or a photo gallery, the opening moments should be the money shot. Not an empty ballroom, not the behind the scenes setup, not the staff headshot, the transformation. The candlelit reception, fully styled, the ceremony dripping in florals, the plated dinner that looks like fine art, emotional hug between a bride and her father, the room glowing, the guests reacting. That's what people are buying. They're not buying the vendor, they're buying the outcome. They're buying how it feels. They're buying how it looks. They're buying the result. So if your gallery starts slow or neutral or very informational, you're wasting your most valuable real estate. Lead with impact. Lead with the standard you want to be known for, because category-specific proof tells someone you've done this at my level before, and that's what moves the trust meter fast. Now let's talk about pre-selling before the call or before the in-person meeting, because this is where most businesses are leaking opportunity. Most people are trying to close a sales call when the couple is sitting at 20 to 50% trust, and that's hard. That's why you hear price objections. That's why you'll hear, oh, we're going to keep looking around, or, we're going to sleep on it, because you're missing things that they do not trust you. So we do something called a video sales letter. We send it before the sales meeting. So when somebody sets up a meeting with us, we'll say, hey, do us a favor. We're looking forward to meeting with you, but if you could watch this video prior to our call, it would be great. And the purpose is simple. It does the heavy lifting. It answers the questions we have always asked. It educates them. It reinforces our uniqueness. And so by the time they get on the call, they're not at 20 or 50% trust. They're at 70, they're at 80, sometimes 90%. And now the job of the call is not to drag them across the finish line, it's to nudge them the last 10%. Sales become a 6-inch putt instead of a 300-yard golf hole. That's what pre-selling does. Another trust mechanism, email nurture. Not everybody is ready today. Some people want to talk now. Other people want to talk a week later, 3 weeks from now, 3 months from now. If you're not nurturing them, you disappear and someone else wins. Email nurture keeps building trust over time. It reinforces testimonials, it educates, it reminds them why you are different, and trust compounds when you stay present. So let's zoom out. Why do most event companies' websites fail the trust test? Because they're missing the stack. They're missing the combination of reputation, brand video, overwhelming proof and testimonials, category-specific proof, right? Some people, videos are more important than photos, and others vice versa. They're asking for commitment without building certainty. And when certainty is low, price feels high. When trust is high, price feels justified. You don't need to become better at sales. You need to become better at moving people up the trust meter before they ever speak to you. So here's your action step. Go to your website, ask yourself, if someone finds me completely cold today, where do they start on the meter? Is it 10%? Is it 20%? Is it 40%? And what assets do I need to install to move them closer to 100%? Because when somebody is sitting at 90% trust before they even speak to you, or after they speak with you, you still did a really good job. Booking you feels inevitable, or a really high probability that it's going to happen. And that's the goal. You want to build so much believable proof, stack so many trust signals, show up consistently across every touch point, that by the time they reach you, the decision is pretty much made. That's how you pass the trust test. And that's how you book more with less friction at higher rates.